What if God was one of us, just like you and me? Wouldn't that be lovely, all relatable, approachable? And yes, that need has been there since the dawn of time to package that abstract divinity into something more familiar. In contrast to that existentially distant, non-dual radiant field of energy we've discussed earlier. And that's basically fine, in principle, as long as we keep our bearings clear. There is the God of being and the God of becoming. It does become problematic though when we craft these anthropomorphic gods with self-reference, where it is not us who are created in the likeness of God, but God is created in our likeness. When the quirks of our human conditioning, our hopes and fears, are superimposed into castings of divinity, all sorts of questionable follows. We need but reflect on the exploits of this carnival of gods in classical traditions. You have the Egyptian, the Greek, the Roman, Mesoamerican, Mesopotamian deities. Are they exactly your positive role models or not? Do they represent the fullness of what life should be? Or do they rather illustrate the goods and evils in the different aspects of our lives? Then, of the living traditions still followed at scale with multiple gods, let's look at Hinduism. We have so many gods, all you must do is choose the one you need. And that pretty much illustrates our problem. We are not looking at expressions of the fullness, we are driving into tunnels in pursuit of our desires. Yes, you have the odd wise sage with a more enlightened perspective, but for the mainstream it's straight up polytheism. The Buddhist tradition took these patron deities of our needs and wants and reframed them into a more enlightened context. And in Islam, the pagan traditions of yore were deemed beyond redemption and leveled to the ground. The Kaaba was cleared. Yet even there, the Hydra keeps on rising its heads, for the God of becoming too must find its expressions. Take the 99 names of God: Ar-Rahman, As-Salam, Al-Mumin, the merciful, the peaceful, the guardian. And then those in need of security, they pray to Al-Mumin. Mumin is your God. We carve out these facets from the full spectrum of what is in accordance with our needs. Then for the Christians, thou shalt not have a God besides the one high one, but you do have the angels, and you have the saints too, as the human expression of a pantheon. And then you become obsessed with the angel of the element of your choice, you pray to the saint of the sailors, and so on in accordance with your needs. No longer integrated race of divinity, colors stripped out from the rainbow. And then a reformation is called for, but not reformation in way of the Protestants breaking statues of Virgin Mary, casting away the saints, only to replace them with their patron kings. A rewinding of it all back into the God of being, the non-dual radiance, and from there recreating the God of becoming in pure form, unbiased. These pure expressions of becoming are necessary to guide us in our lives, not in way of replacements for that universal one divinity, but in expressing the essence of life. Wherever that we find a pure, unbiased, non-subjective expression of the crescendo of the essence of life, there is our God of becoming. Out there, in here, wherever, it doesn't matter. What matters is it's a pure expression of nature, and that's all. Then what if God was one of us? Well, why not? Simply cleanse yourself, make yourself a pure vessel, become the God of becoming in countless forms. Integrate, align, and express the essences of life in their purest, most fulfilled form. Indeed, they say that the 99 names of God find their fullest expression in the descendants of Adam, in us human beings. And it happens when the subjective little you steps out of the way and existence in its fullness may become freely without your meddlings. Then, seek the archetypes in each and every pantheon in your inner creation, refine them, purify them, become whole. There you have the Son of Man, the Daughter of Man, in countless forms, in countless roles, as one, tethered to the throne, between being and becoming. Do not pray. Purify, refine, become, release, and be. There you have the fullness and emptiness of your journey with God, in God, as God.